Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Lights, Camera, Rant. I have a very special episode today. I have a wonderful guest today, my partner in crime of three years, Madeline. Say hello.
Hello, and well done for remembering it's 3 years. Oh. When is it our anniversary?
In August.
Well done.
That's in August on a day. With this special episode, we're going to be talking about Maddie's favourite TV and TV shows and video games, her dislikes, her point of view of coming into the MCU or the superhero genre in an entire whole. And which she's been dying to talk about ever since I started making this podcast, who she has been one of the massive advocates for, with including Dean and Mark. She's been one of the top advocates for me to do this. So 7 or 9 episodes in, technically, she finally gets to appear. So you are most welcome. And it's always happy to have you on this show.
Thank you very much. I'm sure some people have maybe heard me in the backgrounds in your other ones, like, you know, chasing after the dog or trying to keep the dog quiet while you're trying to do your podcasts.
Or someone taking out the bins.
Or doing the dishwasher.
Yeah, or the washing machine.
Or trying to walk really quietly upstairs but actually stomping.
Yeah, stopping because you aren't light-footed.
No, I'm not.
So we have a full-packed episode today, as well as towards the end, I've got some video game news to talk about that I've been dying to talk to you guys about, which I do believe will be a massive game changer, which I'm so pumped for. Annoyed for being in Australia, which I will get to, but will be really pumped for. So let's get into it. So Maddie, introduce yourself and go.
All right. Hi everyone. My name's Maddie. And as Lee said, yes, I am his girlfriend of 3 years, and I
said partner in crime.
Partner in crime, sorry. And I'm super proud of him in getting his podcast up and running. Ever since I met him, he's always spoken about wanting to do a podcast, particularly around Marvel and superheroes. And what you probably will notice throughout this podcast is we have a very different movie taste.
That's an understatement.
When I met Lee, my favourite, I thought, Marvel character, but turns out isn't, was Batman, where I am now very clearly understood that it is actually a DC character, not Marvel.
Yes, what does DC stand for?
Detective Comics.
Well done.
Yep. So we have a very different kind of movie, genre that we like, but I am also a teacher, so I am surrounded by a lot of kid kind of movies, and at the moment my kids keep talking to me all about the new Space Jam movie with Bugs Bunny, and they have said that it is really funny and that we should go and see it, so I'm kind of keen to go and see Space Jam.
You want to see LeBron James?
Is he in this one? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's LeBron James who's taking up the mantle of Michael Jordan.
Yep. So the kids said that one's really good. And also Spirit, I think it's called Spirit New Beginnings or something like that.
Yes, that is actually, I can't remember if that's a sequel or a reboot, because that's actually, that first one, it's about a horse. And and the original one came out, I think, the same time, I think when either Atlantis came out or maybe Brother Bear around about the early 2000s.
When we were quite young, because I remember seeing the original Spirit.
Yeah.
And it was sad. I don't really like seeing animal movies. I always find them too sad.
But you like John Wick.
John Wick was good, but I hated the part that that really sad part with his dog. I remember when we were watching that for the first time, Lee actually covered my eyes because I can't cope with those kind of things. But John Wick in a whole was good, very physical, not a children's movie, but it was very, very good. So I'm looking forward to the next one coming out.
No, but as I said in my last episode, is for either Peter or RSPCA, John Wick is, you know, he'd be right up there.
Don't mess with animals.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of the movies that I kind of like, I guess, can be seen as like kid movies as well, but that's because that's what I kind of what you like. Yeah, and also the kids always, especially Frozen. I've had so many conversations with my kids about Frozen.
I've told you need to let that go.
I love Frozen. Love it, and I really want to go see the theatre play. Or is it the theatre? Is it a show?
It's a theatre in Australia at the moment, in Melbourne. I can't remember if it's a theatre play or it's a skating on ice. It's Frozen at theatre.
Yeah, I really want to see that, but you won't come with me.
No, I won't come with you to go see that because I don't need to see Frozen on stage, but we do need to go see Back to the Future the musical when that comes out.
I'll strike you a deal. I'll see Back to the Future if you see Frozen.
Yeah,
Deal?
One's a classic, and one is a most recent classic.
To be continued.
You can't see her right now, but she's frowning. But I liked Frozen. I just don't need to see it on theatre.
Frozen was an amazing movie. It was just, the music was so... It was just so good. I loved it. I think when I was in the theatre, I had a smile on my face the whole time. I walked out feeling really good.
You know what's actually funny with Frozen is the fact that when that came out, that was it was massive. Obviously, still is massive box office hit. But I was talking at the time it came out. I was talking to one of my friends, and they were like, "I can't remember another Disney movie like this in the same vein or stratosphere as in like The Lion King."
Yes.
Like that kind of impact, or like this is, you will always remember the lines, everything that happened. Like that seems like to be that massive gap of a kind of a blur. And not saying other Disney movies. Sorry, I'm not saying other Disney movies weren't big, but like
that one was one of the top ones.
That on that type of level.
I agree with that. I agree, and I feel like that's one of the Disney movies that you can just turn on at any time. Like The Lion King, you can just put that on and you can happily enjoy it.
What Frozen. Are you talking about? You still cry at the same spot.
Oh, that is sad. When Mufasa dies, that is just sad.
But there isn't a moment like that in Frozen. Oh, actually no, you do see the parents' ship go underwater.
That was sad.
Yeah.
Olaf brings it all back though. I love Olaf. Anywho.
Yes, as you can see, we can go off onto tangents.
Yeah.
So back onto it. So,
yes.
Thank you for introducing yourself.
No worries.
Tell me, what is your top 5 movies or top 5 TV shows?
Well, I've broken them into categories.
Yes, this is how official she is. I just write scribble.
I've got mine all written down, ready to rock and roll.
It's an essay.
So, I've broken it into 3 categories. My first category is my favourite movies. And then my second category is TV shows that I like to watch. And then the third category is just TV shows that can just, any episodes that are on TV, you can literally just sit down, whether it's season 10 or season 1 or season 3, that you can just watch and get involved. Yeah, that I love. So in terms of movies...
All right, so start with your movies.
Okay.
What's your favourite movies? And, short reason why.
Okay. My favourite childhood movie has to be Matilda. Rod Dahl's Matilda. And the reason that's my favourite is I don't know how many times I watched that and how many times I made my brothers watch that. But
Your brothers?
Yep. My 2 stepbrothers that are a lot older than me and my poor brother who's only, 2 years older than me. I made them watch that so many times and I know it word for word. Probably one of my favourite movies, but I have not read the book.
Oh, I didn't even know it was book.
Yeah, Rod Dahl.
Yeah, the only thing that I really remember from Matilda is Miss Trunchbull, because that is pretty much the most thing that I...
The chokey.
The chokey. And I didn't even realise that was the same woman in Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, in number 5 or 4, the giant lady that flies up that's really huge at the dinner at the very start.
Oh,
That's Miss
yes.
Trunchbull.
I would have thought I would know
Yep,
that.
still plays a bitch in both.
Yeah, she's not a nice character. Bunny, she's a very good character in another movie, but I won't even get onto that.
Oh yes, and by the way, Maddie is a huge pothead.
I love Harry Potter. Thank you very much.
Harry
Potter.
The Potterverse.
Oh my gosh, Harry Potter is one of my absolute favorite movie series because when I was younger, we never ever had time off school. But for Harry Potter, Mum would give us the day off from school. We would go to a cinema with it'd be my mum, my brother, my nan, and my pop.
Is this pre-COVID?
Definitely pre-COVID. My pop stopped coming because he kept falling asleep in the theatre. So it ended up being like Mum, my brother, and Nan. And we would go and see Harry Potter the day of release. And I don't know, I grew up with Harry Potter, so I love it. That's a movie that I could just chuck on at any time.
Do you have a particular one that you can watch more than the rest?
Yeah. I think I can watch The Prisoner of Azkaban more. I really like that one. It's probably one of my favourites. But then The Half-Blood Prince I really do like because there's a bit of comedy in it. Especially like with Ron and Harry, there was a lot of like humour. And then towards the end of the film, it started getting quite dark because it starts getting into...
That's pretty much the last year, isn't it?
Yeah,
pretty much
year.
Half-Blood Prince is pretty much the last year when everything starts to go downhill and like... Yeah, well actually yes, because Dumbledore dies, everything's fucked.
That was the saddest... That one, and then in the Deathly Hallows when Dobby dies, your heart just breaks.
And then you Goblet of Fire, the year where no one had a haircut.
Yep, they were all rocking the Harry Potter long hair. So I love Harry Potter. The other one that I really love is Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I love Titanic. If you want an ultimate romance, watch Titanic. I know, Lee, it's totally not your thing.
Hey, I went to the cinemas with an ex to go see Titanic in 3D.
That would have been good.
I think the only bit that actually really stood out at 3D, I think, was when the ship was breaking
in half,
and the tail of the ship was coming up to the screen. And the propeller. I think that was the most thing I remember that felt like it was coming out to you.
That would have been a bit.
It was good. It was good to see, but like that's what I can remember. It was good seeing Titanic on the big screen because I feel like, that's the type of movie that you get the most. Like, so if they ever did Titanic in IMAX, that would be very worth to go see.
No, I like Titanic. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. He is gorgeous in that movie, but it's just
He could have fit on that door.
They all say that.
He could have.
But he didn't.
But Mythbusters proved it.
It's heartbreak.
Yeah.
I cry. Sometimes when you're just feeling really... and you need a movie to make you cry.
You mean like Notebook?
I've never seen it.
You mean Avengers Endgame?
I don't cry in that.
I did. I cried.
Do you mean Infinity War? Oh no, Endgame.
Endgame.
Sorry, yeah.
I think Infinity War, I was more... like, from the first viewing, I was more like... What the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to know... Now, Maddie hates it when I tell her this.
Fun fact.
I don't say it's a fun fact. I say it's a trivia fact.
Trivia fact, I know.
That actually, in Titanic, there's a scene towards the end where they're both looking up to the stars.
Yes.
Because they're on the raft or on the door.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there was actually a person, astronomer, who actually emailed James Cameron and said that at that time of the year, or the year that the ship went under, 1930 or whatever it was, that what they were looking at, those stars in the sky, would not been correct.
I think I remember you telling me this.
Yes,
you've told me this
and
before.
it's such a trivial thing, right? That anyone pick up on that for being a movie. But funny enough, when Titanic was re-released in the theaters, I think for the 3D version and just a normal viewing. As well, I think they've also updated for the Blu-ray release, is that James Cameron actually changed that scene because of that guy who emailed him.
How do you know this stuff?
Why do you think I have a podcast?
My God.
But no, that's an interesting thing.
It is very interesting. Mind you, when you're making a movie like that, the focus isn't on the stars.
Well, technically, it's the last thing they see.
Well, true. True. I think the standout scene for that one is when they're on the front of the ship and they, Jack, I'm flying. I'm really flying.
Yeah.
Not frying, flying.
Well, no, they fry later. Actually, no, they kind of freeze later.
Freeze, yeah.
And they don't thaw.
Oh. Anywho, do we move on?
Yeah.
The next one, which I can watch this movie anytime, The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. I'm not a huge... I do like Batman, but there's something about Hugh... No, not Hugh. Oh my God, I've clicked. Heath Ledger. Let's say Hugh Grant then. Heath Ledger.
No one wants to see Hugh Grant doing anything any of the superheroes.
Heath Ledger was incredible in that movie. He just brought something to that movie that... Oh, I love watching it. I think he was phenomenal in that movie.
Actually, in saying that, I actually only made you recently actually watch the entire trilogy because you didn't realise there was a third.
I didn't even know there was a first. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Batman. No. I don't know the last one. What's it called again?
Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, The Dark Knight Rises.
And actually, we watched the original Batman and Batman Returns recently as well.
Yes, with Jim Carrey. And
no, we didn't.
Isn't that Dark? I completely confused.
No.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
and
that was horrific. That was not good.
What?
I didn't like it. It wasn't one of my favourites.
It's Michael Keaton. He's the OG Batman.
I prefer when Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
Yeah, that was right before Bat Nipples.
That's a great Batman.
That's with Val Kilmer.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you look at a photo of Val Kilmer right now, he does. No one's going to ask him to come back and play Batman.
Jack Nicholson was actually...
Also in saying that, I sincerely hope that all his health issues are all in mend, but he ain't come back.
I just found Jack Nicholson very scary.
Well, that's the thing is...
I don't do scary.
But did you not find Heath Ledger scary?
No, he was incredible.
Even though he had facial scars?
No, he was fine. He always explained how he got them. Different story every time, but he always explained them.
Because sometimes characters like to have a multiple choice in their origin.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
It's alright, it's a drawback to a comic.
Okay, sure. Well, going on from Batman...
Yes, but it's saying that, going back, why do you... So you believe the reason why you like The Dark Knight so much is because of Heath Ledger's performance?
Yeah, I just really enjoy watching him. And the truck scene, which you said was actually a real life.
That's correct. They actually
real life scene when the truck flipped over, and it was just, I really enjoyed it.
Would you, God rest his soul, would you, if he was still alive, would you have wanted him to come back and do a third one, or would you have just left in the second?
I would have left it because I think, I don't know, I'm always skeptical of sequels. Because sometimes you just shouldn't touch it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. He did a great job. I wouldn't do another one.
No.
No, I don't reckon.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Next movie?
The next movie, which is my last one, which is an all-time favourite of both you and I.
Yes.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Number 1 and number 2. And I can watch that movie no matter what, and I can also recite lots and lots of parts.
Yes, and I know you can, and we don't have all the time on this podcast to do that.
No, we won't. But
the funny thing is, I don't know why. I think it was because of Channel 7 or Channel 10.
Yeah.
But for years, I always thought that the second one was number 1.
I still don't know which one's which.
The Dolphin's number 1.
See, I wouldn't say the Dolphin is number 1.
But yeah,
Because I would have said the first one was the one with the bat that went missing. And then...
That's the sequel.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know, maybe because I didn't watch them in order, I've just...
Yeah, because I feel like Channel 7 or Channel 10 here in Australia just kept playing the second one. Kept playing the one where he goes to the jungle. I barely remember seeing... It's the same thing with... You probably won't, but with Terminator. Was it Arnie? They always... Channel 7 or Channel 10, Channel 9... always played Terminator 2. They never, like, it took me ages to realise that wasn't actually the first Terminator. It's the best Terminator, but the fact is, like, because they always kept playing number 2, and now that's the only one you want to play.
Yeah, I don't know. Haven't really watched Terminator, unfortunately.
Add
that one to the list.
Yes.
So they're my favourite movies. If I was to think about TV shows, so many people that I've told about this always roll their eyes or go, oh my god, no way. But my favourite TV shows, I love Gogglebox. Gogglebox?
See, this is the thing I don't understand with Gogglebox.
Okay.
Like, this is what, like, I understand why you like it, but what I don't get is the fact that, like, I don't find it funny watching someone watch something else and their reaction, but in saying that, like, oh, you know, everyone loved... Oh, actually, no, it's not the same vein. I was going to say Funniest Home Videos, but that's completely different.
I remember that.
That was the best shit.
I don't know why they got rid of that. I always thought that was great.
Yeah, they got rid of it because everyone got TikToks and Vines.
Oh, okay, right.
No, it was because it was always...
Null and void now.
Yeah, because it was always called on...
On video, VHS.
On video, VHS tapes.
VHS.
That's what people used to send in back in the day. And now, basically, YouTube just does a compilation of that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Mind you, there is always something special about Funniest Home Videos. Yeah. On like a Saturday.
Look, if anyone who's internationally listening to this, Funniest Home Videos was like an early 2000s.
Every Saturday at like...
Yeah, every Saturday or during the week, and it was just a show where people would send in their VHS tapes once upon a time of people just doing stupid shit. Either the kids falling over, or someone crashing into someone, or someone trying to do a jump rope and completely missing the rope, and
people being clumsy.
Yeah, people necking themselves.
No, not that.
No, I mean like missing completely and like they're gonna hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Not kill themselves. No. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But no, I just don't find Gogglebox.
I do.
No, sorry to cut you off. She almost tried to get us to go onto that show. I don't want someone watching me watch something else.
I was so close to actually putting our names down for it, but then I didn't. But the other one I was so close to volunteering and putting my name down for was travel guides. I love travel guides. I think that is hilarious. If you ever want to have a good laugh, watch travel guides. But also, it has inspired me to go to certain places.
We can't.
I know we can't at this moment. I don't know how they're doing it.
It's because other places don't have international border lockdown.
Just Australia.
Well, yeah, think about Europe.
Well, yeah, true.
They can't.
Yeah.
Some people nearly cross the country just get to work.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. But I do really like travel guides. But I also think that there are some TV shows that you can just watch at any time, at any point in the season. And
okay, so we're moving on to your third category.
My third category.
Oh, yes.
Lee and I watched the whole 12 seasons of Big Bang Theory.
Yes,
from start to finish.
Yes, we did that.
That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. And we also watched the whole 10 seasons of Friends.
Yes, we did. Now, that's the funny thing is, until we watched that, I've actually never watched Friends all the way through.
Same.
And watching that first episode is like, Jesus. Like I mean, like not the technology, but I mean, like how grainy. Like I think it gets better after like season 1. But the first episode of season 1, it's so grainy. Like if you go back and you watch like The Nanny,
Oh,
The Nanny's...
Mr. Sheffield.
Yeah, the Nanny's first episode is so grainy. And like, yeah, like that's the best for the time. Even when I go back and watch the first episode of Stargate, which I know you don't like. Stargate is like one of my favourite TV shows. It is like MVP.
I get Stargate and Star Trek confused all the time.
How?
Which one has Spock in it?
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Sorry.
One's on a spaceship with different coloured t-shirts.
And the other one's a time thing where they go through like this spinning circle.
It's pronounced Stargate.
Oh, they go through a gate.
And it's an internet. It's a wormhole that takes them to any planet that doesn't actually take them through time and space. It takes them through space, but not time.
Yeah, well.
I actually made Maddie watch Stargate the movie, and she didn't like it.
I caught up on my newsfeed. But we were hanging out to watch the part 2 of Lucifer.
Oh, yes.
Now, you had to convince me to watch Lucifer. Do you remember?
Yes, I did. And the funny thing is, I watched Lucifer. Actually, no, it was just the fact that like a couple of my friends recommended it to me, and then I saw it come up on my Netflix feed as you should watch this. It was the same thing like when I watched Final Space. It was the only recommendation. And funny enough, I watched the first episode. I was like, all right, I get it. And then 5 seasons later, I was hooked. And I had tried to convince you because I thought it was something you could like because it wasn't. It's a crime drama.
Yeah.
Technically,
with a bit of comedy in it.
Comedy and singing.
Yeah. Well, in the last one, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
It took a lot of convincing, but I'm glad that I watched it. And yeah, that's a really good... Mind you, that one you can't watch here, there, and everywhere. You kind of have to watch that in order.
Kind of, because it's more story-based.
Yeah, Big Bang and Friends. I love, like, if something's on the TV and I just know I don't have anything to watch, I just chuck on Channel 10 or 11, whatever it is, and Friends will be on or Big Bang will be on, and I will just happily sit there and watch that. I really like that one. So
Which one would you prefer to watch?
Friends. Oh, actually, I think Friends.
I think it's a generation thing.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer Friends, but I wouldn't be fussed either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's about me, my movies, TV shows, and
didn't you have dislikes?
I did have dislikes.
Because I could see it. Because I could see from her essay right now. I could see like dislikes underlined. Do you want to express them before we move on to our next topic?
I really dislike animated adult cartoon shows like BoJack Horseman, Family Guy.
So what you're telling me is that you have no sense of humour.
I don't even like The Simpsons.
Which is just mind-boggling.
I just don't think it's funny.
Is it because they're yellow?
No! It's I just don't think they're funny. They're inappropriate.
Simpsons isn't. That's family content.
No, it's not. Our children will not be watching The Simpsons until they're very, very old.
But Simpsons is family content.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Do you
is.
know there's so many hidden, like, innuendos and stuff like that and things Homer says?
Yeah, you've just explained it. Hidden.
Well, not hidden too, Well, yeah, but no. Anywho.
You only realise this when you get older.
Anywho.
But at the time, like I watched The Simpsons when I was like 8 onwards.
Yeah, but no, I personally, from my point of view, I don't like animated adult shows. I just don't. They're just not me.
They're just not you?
They're just not me.
Right.
Just like you don't really enjoy romance and stuff like that. They're just not you.
The reason why I don't enjoy romance is because I don't want to go through 5 seasons waiting for the 2 main characters to fuck.
Lee? Oh my gosh. As you can see, Lee and I also don't talk the same.
No, that's why I put the disclaimer thing on this podcast, because I didn't want to be having to bleep out every word.
Oh my goodness.
Because I try and be proper.
Yes,
Maddie's very proper.
Mm-hmm.
She did not swear nearly as enough when I met her. Now just, just swears her head off at anything.
Well, I dislike those particular films or TV shows.
But you know, Family Guy's award-winning show, so is BoJack Horseman. And Big Mouth!
No, you made me watch one episode of that and I cringe.
It's just going through puberty.
It's just, yeah.
They should show this stuff to kids in primary.
Did you have another question you wanted to ask me?
Was that all your dislikes?
Yeah, just that one.
Just that one.
Oh, and I also have something that I need to clarify with all of your viewers. Number one, I have seen Ghostbusters. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah?
In episode 1 or 2, Lisa told everyone that I had not seen Ghostbusters. I have! Number one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. So...
And a little bit of Back to the Future.
That's a little bit of Back to the Future. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I could tell you the gist of it. They go back to the future.
They do. But that's a technicality. That's a bad answer of me.
Do you know...
But you should watch...
There is one... Actually, you might be able to help me with this. There is one movie that I've always wanted to watch, and I can't for the life of me think of what it's called.
Oh, yeah?
It's got the guy from The Mummy in it.
Brendan Fraser. And it's when they have like a bunker under... Blast the Past.
Oh, Blast in the Past. I've always wanted to watch that.
It's got Christopher Walken.
Okay, we should watch that.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is a good movie, yes.
I always think about it, but I never knew what it was called.
Yeah, Blast from Past.
Blast from the Past. There you go. All right. You ready to go into the next one?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
So, next thing. So, when me and Maddie met, obviously Endgame Infinity War was right around the corner, so I had to get her up to speed. So I made her watch all 22 movies.
Hadn't it come out before I met you?
Infinity War did.
Yeah.
Not Endgame.
No.
So, I had to get you up to speed with your all 20 movies of the MCU.
Can I just clarify? He sent me a scope and sequence of how I was supposed to watch the movies so that I watched them all in order, because Marvel does not go in proper order for when they release things.
Look, we don't need to get into this.
It's very hard for someone who does not follow it.
Well, don't bother watching Fast and the Furious, or that's just going to just really throw you out.
This threw me.
Because there is a particular sequence. Like right now with Black Widow, it's actually not a sequel to Endgame. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Because she's dead.
I know. But like they should have, with Black Widow, if it's not meant to go after Endgame, they should have released it when it was supposed to be released in the sequence. Not at the end of Endgame.
How do you feel about Star Wars?
I have not watched it.
I could hear a penny drop.
Yep, alright. Point made.
No, but what I'm saying is that the fact with Star Wars, yeah, they made 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, then 6, 7, 8.
Yes, and you were telling me that...
7, 8, 9, sorry.
Yeah, and you were telling... What one did I watch?
You watched the very first one.
Okay.
Number 4.
You watched the first one. Number 4. That makes complete sense.
It does. It does to anyone who's listening to this.
Doesn't to me.
No.
Why don't I watch number 1? It should just be if it's the first one, you watch number 1.
It's not how this works. not in the realm of Star Wars.
Obviously
because if you watch Star Wars in order, you're wondering why all the graphics and everything degrade right in the middle.
You know about Star Wars?
Yes, we're still talking about Star Wars.
Sorry. Sorry. I got lost. Anywho.
No, but yes, there is a particular sequence to watch the MCU.
Yes.
Yes. So, what my question was today, obviously saying that bringing you in to watch all that from an outside perspective, which I appreciate you watching all those movies.
Except for the Hulk. You told me not to worry about that.
Well, no, because I didn't tell you to watch the Hulk because I had to get you up to speed pretty quickly, and technically overall, Hulk
wasn't one that I really needed to worry about.
Yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot to the Infinity Saga. But the funny thing is, we actually might have to watch that because of Shang-Li.
Great.
I will explain that later. So, what I'm saying is, what is your perspective on someone from outside watching the MCU?
My perspective was...
for someone who doesn't have like superhero movies and movies in general running through their blood.
Well,
and you know that more than your street address.
The only MCU movie that I had watched was Iron Man. That's it. I had no idea about Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor or Captain America or Ant-Man or any of those ones. My perspective is there are a hell of a lot of movies out there, and I think I spent all of my school holidays watching them. There was so many, but I was so glad that I did watch it before we went and saw Endgame, because I would not have got anything. I remember we went over to your house one night for dinner and we watched Infinity War before I had seen any of the movies, and I obviously had no idea what was going on. So I was really glad that I watched them all. I loved Captain America. I'm pretty sure it was Civil War. I think that's the one that I told you that I really liked.
That was the one where versus Iron Man and the team.
Yeah,
and he drops the shield.
I think so.
And that's when the first time you see Black Panther.
It was one of the Captain Americas that I really liked. And I remember having this conversation with you because I don't really enjoy the out-of-world movies. Like Thor and stuff like that. Although I think that the acting and everything is really, really good, not having any go about the acting, I just don't enjoy that kind of film where it's on spaceships and in other planets and stuff. It just loses me.
I thought you liked Guardians of the Galaxy.
I like the music. The music was amazing, and I love Groot. But that's about it.
That it?
Yeah, I really like Captain America because it's very much like...
a grounded story.
Yeah, it's grounded. The same with Iron Man to a point. I liked Iron Man. I wouldn't say it's my favourite. Infinity War was good. I really liked Infinity War, obviously, once I had watched all of the Marvels and understood...
It made you appreciate it more.
Yes, especially like Vision and Wanda. That was just sad when they got Vision. That broke my heart.
Which time? Infinity War or WandaVision?
Oh, WandaVision. My favourite. When Thanos took out the Soul Stone from Vision. Are you proud that I said that?
Yes, well done.
And like when Vision just died, you just saw Wanda's heart just break. Like that just was so sad. And then when everyone kind of started like dissipating and going away, that was horrible. It was really like, for someone like you, that would have left, like you would have had like this hole or pit in your stomach for so long. Someone like me obviously didn't appreciate it.
Well, no, it was more, you know, it was more because of the fact I read the comic, and it was more curious in how the fact it was going to play out, and I think they did the right thing in the fact that they ended it right then and there, of them all dissipating.
Yeah.
But it was more the funny thing is the most annoying thing from that entire scene. The entire scene after the movie finished with me, Dean, and Mark, the most annoying thing was going, "Fuck! We have to wait 365 days to know what, how, when." You know, that was the most frustrating thing, and the fact that, and knowing the fact that this was going to be Marvel's most sacred, guarded movie, there was going to be nothing that was going to leak from this. And the fact, and even then, funny enough, even when we got the first trailer, it showed us absolutely nothing.
I remember when the trailer... This shows you how dedicated you are to the Marvel MCU thing. is that I remember it was early in the morning. I think I rolled over and I couldn't find you anywhere. You had taken yourself to a different room in the house so that you could watch this trailer without being interrupted.
Well, no, it wasn't for me to be interrupted, so I didn't wake you.
I appreciate that.
I was just excited.
You were so excited and you had so many questions, and so that's why I decided to watch all of them, because I knew how much it meant to you as well for me to come with you to go see the movie, but also for me to come with you and understand the movie. And it was really good because it was a area that I never knew about. And everyone was talking about Marvel, and whenever I talk to the kids at work, it's always about Iron Man and Thor and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of nice to be able to...
It makes a lot more sense for you.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice to actually have that conversation with the kids. Obviously, you don't talk about the scary stuff, but when they say something about Iron Man or Thor or Spider-Man, I can actually say, oh yeah, but what about Loki?
What's scary stuff?
Oh, like, I think the scary stuff is like the death. It's very violent, Marvel. I personally don't think children should be watching it, but that's just me.
That's just you.
That's
yeah.
just me. Especially, I don't know. This is a massive generalization, but a lot of the boys that I've worked with, like a lot of those kids, they really. It's something a lot of them can strike up conversations with their friends about. It's a conversation starter for a lot of kids. And yeah, okay, the films are adult films, but, superheroes. That's all the kids talk about is superheroes. They always want to be a superhero. What do you want to be when you're older? I want to be Spider-Man. I want to be Batman.
Well,
Sorry, I know I just went Marvel and I also went
No,
MCU.
I'm not saying that. I'm just...
DC.
I'm just saying that anytime I hear a kid that says that they want to be Batman when they grow up, or when they want to be Spider-Man when they grow up, it makes me think that, no, you really don't want to be, because they don't have any parents.
Oh, well, sorry, that was an example.
I'm like, that's terrible.
It's an example. But that's my perspective on the MCU, is that I think...
It's funny you actually said it. Sorry to go back and forth. It's actually quite funny. It's like, actually, it's not funny. I saw a photo yesterday, and it's a picture of this kid who's just a comic, and it's a kid growing Batman, and he's saying to himself, I wish you were real. I wish you were real. And the funny thing is, I think the whole scene is the fact that he actually is there, but the kid feels like he's just dreaming. But the Batman actually is standing right next to him and has his hand on his shoulder. But the kid thinks it's a dream.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
I know. That kind of went really dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why when a kid goes, I want to be Batman, or I want to be Spider-Man, it's like, oh, look, do you have parents? Yeah. No.
I have to admit, when I did see Endgame, I kind of had to watch it probably 2, maybe 3 times after.
We went to the movies twice to go see it.
We did, and then we've watched it a few times after that, and it's a phenomenal movie, but it's a sad movie. Like, it is so sad to start off with, like the amount of loss and the amount of sadness, and it was
It's pretty much all sad. It's. I would say 3/4 of the movie is just sadness, because the fact that that was the point. It was meant to show you that this event has happened, and even when you're the most elite team, when you're the Avengers, you're still helpless.
I liked Hulk in it. I thought Bruce Banner did a good, the character did a good job in it.
I see this as an absolute win.
Yeah, and I like when you were speaking about Thor in one of your other podcasts, and how obviously with his, blaming himself for it and
depression.
Depression. I think they conveyed that very well. I know you and I always have the thought, he's back on again, And then when Thor goes on and he goes, "Listen, Earthling."
New master.
Yes, and then he goes, "Thank. Let me know if he comes back on again. Thank you very much. I will do."
Yes.
Taika
Waititi.
The Love You 3000.
Oh yes.
Yes, we always say that, don't we?
Yes.
Love You 3000. Thank you very
Yes.
much. But yeah, so that's my perspective on MCU. But you did mention WandaVision.
Well, yes, post Endgame, what are your thoughts been on WandaVision, Captain Falcon, and Loki? Now I know that Captain Falcon, you didn't watch the way through, didn't really grab you, and Loki didn't grab you either. And the funny thing is, I say that, and I just did an entire episode. I've just done an entire episode all about Loki.
But again, when you look at Loki, they're going through different times, and it just was a bit far-fetched for me, to be honest. Like, it was good seeing Loki in his own kind of... Because whenever you see him in, other movies, he's always been the villain. He's always been the little bugger that's doing the wrong thing.
Oh, actually, he wasn't in Infinity War. But the irony in that is that the one time he wasn't, he got his neck squished and cracked.
Yeah, that was horrible. But yeah, that didn't really grab me. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think if I had watched it from the start, I probably would like it, but I think I came in too late and I just didn't really.
Just for the record, is I do actually announce when I'm watching these and when I am sitting down to watch them, and I do always invite you.
I think I had uni work.
Let's all remember those priorities.
Yeah. But WandaVision.
Yes, WandaVision. You did sit with me the entire time and watch that, which I even said that's that was sad.
That was
generally that was all sad because of Wanda.
And you know what? That whole movie was just all about her heartbreak.
TV show?
Sorry, TV show.
This is also a little thing that Maddie likes to do, which I still to this day I don't understand, is that every time she goes to say movie or TV show, she does the exact opposite.
I know.
So for a split second, I'm always confused on what you're talking about.
No, but that TV show, WandaVision, I remember the first couple of episodes, you and I just could not seem to figure out what was happening, and it was very... I was very skeptical of it because it was not a traditional Marvel movie.
No, which it was exactly what they were going for.
Yeah. But
which you can see now in reflection why they started with that.
But how sad was it? That whole TV show was her heartbreak for Vision. Yeah. That whole kind of world had to end, obviously because she didn't know she was inflicting pain on other people.
No.
But for her to make it better for those people, she had to let Vision go.
Yeah.
And that, I think I was crying in that episode.
Actually, you were.
Yeah, I found that really...
Because she had to give up Vision and the kids.
Yeah.
Or did she?
I don't know. We'll have to find out when it comes into...
Ooh.
Doctor Strange's movie. TV series.
No.
Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah. WandaVision was my favourite out of all of them, so it just was a really sad one.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out Doctor Strange too.
But I think, you and I we'll always, if we wanted to watch a movie, I'd happily sit down and watch Endgame again.
Either that or Dark Knight.
Yeah. So I really like watching them.
Yeah. So there you said that was your perspective. So what are you are you looking forward to any of these moving forward?
I'm probably not looking forward to any of the Marvel movies because I didn't really know about Shang-Li or anything like that.
Actually, this is the first movie with Shang-Li.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't, And
you didn't want to come see Black Widow?
No, I didn't want to see Black Widow. I think now because Endgame has come out, I'm not really itching to go and see anymore. But that's just because it's not my thing. But if you and I wanted to watch it one night, of course I'll give it a go. But
it's $35. It's $35 on Disney Plus.
There you go. But I'm currently actually watching Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yes.
I wanted to have a TV series to start off with.
Yes, you won't watch Scrubs.
No.
Scrubs is better.
I can't comment on Scrubs. I just don't like that. But
See, she doesn't like anything funny. She doesn't have a comedy bone.
I do. I love anything except for that horror movie you just told me about with Jim Carrey. Liar, Liar, Ace Ventura,
Sonic.
Nah. Sonic was alright. The Mask, love The Mask. I also love anything with Robin Williams. He's just an
So
outstanding
1 Hour
actor.
Photo.
Haven't seen that one.
That's all. That's a horror movie he's in.
Oh no, I don't do horror. Don't do scary.
Yeah.
I won't sleep.
So like Patch Adams.
Flubber.
Flubber.
Like Flubber. But I am watching Grey's Anatomy at the moment. Am I loving it? Look, it's a TV series.
There's still 14 seasons of it.
I don't think I'm going to watch all of them.
But
Because,
it's 14. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Look, it is like it's kind of filling a hole, but
The
I'm not
void.
loving it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I have recently just watched the Downton Abbey motion picture movie.
Oh yes.
For the third time. That was fantastic.
Third time.
Yep, I love Downton Abbey.
Have you watched the show?
Yeah. I'd watch that religiously. It's just I love British TV shows.
You and My Old Man.
Yep. So I just got BritBox. So we've got some more TV
Both
shows.
you and My Old Man are sharing BritBox.
Yep.
Which some of the shows are like, oh, do you want to watch this? I'm like, nah, like that doesn't grab me.
I don't know. Well, my family are from they're British, so I think I've just grown up with a lot of British television.
I know. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just sometimes like how they talk. I'm like, nah. Or like just what the premise is. Like My Old Man, he was like, oh, there's this crime show in Iceland. He's like, do you want to watch it? I'm like, he
loves Iceland.
He does. Look, in another lifetime, I think if he could, his dream would have been to be like a Globe Trekker TV show or a world travel guide, or it's actually no, sorry, I lied. Photographer, world photographer. That would have been his dream, his passion.
He'd be great at that. He'd love that.
He would never leave Europe.
No. He would be in Europe forever.
Yeah.
But he also put me onto a few really good TV shows. Actually, I think it was his sister that put me onto this one. But on Stan, I think it was, Normal People. Now, Normal People, although it is very raunchy, it was a fantastic series. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the guy who plays...
He won an award for it.
Cornwall? I can't pronounce his name. He did win an award.
I'm pretty sure he won an award.
He was fantastic. Yeah. They both were fantastic. I watched that series twice. Very sad series in some parts, but also very a good romance as well. Not too romantic.
It just didn't grab it when I watched it. Man, he's like, "Oh, do you want to watch this?" I'm like, it just didn't grab me because, as I said before, like I just. I don't want to wait 5 seasons for the main characters to fuck or go off and come back.
You don't have to say it like that.
Sorry. When they fornicate.
Oh God.
When they wait in 5 seasons for them to fornicate.
Well,
or go back to fornicating.
I just think that in those particular movies, there's more to that movie than that.
You mean that TV show?
That TV show, sorry. Anyway.
No, I know there's more to that.
Apparently,
it just doesn't tickle my fancy.
Doesn't tickle your fancy.
No.
But apparently there is a season 2 coming out, but I don't know when.
Yes, I have seen it. They have confirmed they're making season 2.
Sweet.
Where they're going to go from that, you know more than I would.
Yeah, well, I don't read that much stuff about it, so I'll just have to wait for it to come out on Stan. And the other one, Bridgerton. Holy guacamole. Strap yourself in for Bridgerton.
Isn't Bridgerton just, no, not Mother, in the same vein as 50 Shades of Grey? It's,
no.
It's Mother.
No.
What's the one we're looking for?
I wouldn't say so.
It's what mums read and watch.
I don't know what mums read and watch, but I think... It was very suspenseful. Like, you had to try and
Which
figure
part?
out. I'm not going to go into detail. You're making me awkward now. I'm not going into details, but it was really It was a really good series, but the next series that's coming out is actually not going to have, like, it's not going to be the same storyline. It's going to be different.
Oh, how come?
I don't know. It's based on story. I don't know. It's based on
okay.
based on novels. I haven't read the novel, but it's based on novels. So it's based on novels. So the last novel, it was all about the two characters, Daphne and I can't remember the guy's name, you know, getting married and having a baby. But also I've forgotten all the characters' names. But also Lady Whistletown or whatever her name is.
Whistleton.
No, that's not Frozen. I think it's Whistletown. I can't remember. But the person that's like writing the newspaper with all the gossip. So that was what it was all about. And the next one, I don't know, but I could read up about it.
Oh, I see. I don't know if you like it. It's the funny thing is, none of my friends have watched, or no, actually, none of my friends watched or like Bridgerton. It's not their cup of tea.
Are you sure?
Who?
You never know. They might just not tell you.
Oh well.
Secretly, you like Bridgerton, didn't you?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it's about. If you told me you're just like, oh, have you watched this? I would think it was something to do about a bridge. Bridgerton.
Okay, it's amazing. It is
alright, so
amazing.
would you recommend it?
Yeah. 100%. I recommend that. I recommend Normal People, Downton Abbey.
Downtown Abbey's done, isn't it? It's finished.
It's all done but gosh, it's a good series. Oh, yeah.
How many characters do you see in that were from Harry Potter?
None. Oh no! Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
She was amazing in it.
Yeah, and come on, the one person in the entire Harry Potter franchise who is more of a CUNT than Voldemort. Everyone that even people want her to die. The bitch that wore all the pink.
She's not in it.
She was in it.
No, she wasn't.
She was in it. She's in the movie. You maybe watch it. She was like Maggie Smith's cousin. She was the one that you thought she was.
I was thinking Dumbledore wasn't in it.
No, she was the one.
Yes, was she? Yes.
And she was the one that you believed it was her maid, but wasn't actually maid.
It was actually her daughter.
Her daughter. Yeah.
You do watch Downton. See, you do watch things that I put on the TV.
Reluctantly.
Proud of you. So yes.
Proud of me.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
So yeah.
Is there another show that you'd watch?
No, like I don't. Because I'm at uni, I kind of stopped watching a lot of TV shows. I've just run out of time.
Well, you stopped watching Rick and Morty.
I've never watched Rick and Morty, nor would I begin to watch Rick and Morty.
Could you tell me which one's Rick and which one's Morty?
I don't even know what they look like. Is one of them an animal?
No.
No? Okay.
No. What are you thinking of?
I think I'm thinking of Futurama, actually. Is one of them a robot in Futurama?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Futurama.
Which that's something you haven't seen either.
No.
No, which you should watch. But
No, thank you.
It's a good show.
No, thank you.
Bloody hell. So that's what you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Up and coming.
I really can't wait till Bridgerton, the next season, comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, and The Crown.
Oh, yeah.
I love all things royal.
I watched probably 2 seasons of that with you. I didn't watch the 4th.
Yeah, you didn't watch the...
I didn't watch the 4th because you were on school holidays, so you binge watched the whole thing.
Oh, do you want to watch it again?
No.
Oh. No, that was good. Sad.
Spoiler alert, Diana dies.
Yes. Very, very sad. She doesn't die in that one, though. But it's the betrayal.
Oh, did they finish?
The portrayal of her was very sad.
Oh, did they finish it before she goes to the tunnel?
Yep. Yeah, it left a bit of a funny feeling in the pit of your stomach. But I do really like The Crown. I like the history of the royals.
Aren't they making a season 5?
Yep. But then apparently it's going to stop after that because otherwise that will start going into like the royals of today.
Well, yeah, because Diana was only the 90s.
Yeah. So I think she passed away in 1997, which was really sad.
Yeah. I've actually walked over that tunnel.
Really?
Yes.
Oh golly.
Yes. Very eerie feeling.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Actually, I've walked over the tunnel of that, and I've walked out the front of the hotel in which John Lennon got shot.
Yeah, the Beatles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Beatles. Yes. How many Beatles were there, Maddie?
4.
Well done.
And Abbey Road.
Yes, that's correct. I've actually been to Abbey Road. I've actually walked across that as well.
I have seen that picture.
But yes, I've actually been in New York where sadly he got shot, which is a tragedy in its own right. But yeah, Crown season 5 because that's going to have like Harry and all that, aren't they?
I don't think it will have like Harry and Meghan in it. I think it will be more when like
Probably
Diana
just Harry.
passes away. I think it will be more like the younger years.
Yeah,
of the kids.
like no one wants to see Meghan and what's the other?
Kate.
No one wants no one wants to see me and Kate.
I do, but then you have to be careful because the portrayal of them is not always because it is a drama.
Well, what's the point?
So
yeah, you always twist the facts to make material.
But she's doing some amazing things at the moment, so I would hate for them to portray her in a
Which one?
Kate. She's doing some amazing things.
Which one's the one that's being a pain?
Well, Meghan.
Megan's the one.
But she's not being a pain.
Oh no, not being a pain. But you know what I mean.
know
Yeah,
what
the
you
whole thing with
mean.
Oprah and everything.
Yeah, the interview.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Haven't you seen the awkward thing with it's Harry, isn't it? It's Harry that's married to her. Yeah, haven't you seen the awkward thing with the Disney head honcho?
No.
No, it was some screening or some event, and there's an awkward meeting with Harry and the CEO of Disney where he's trying to
get a job?
He's trying to get her to get a job because of how good her voice work or something is, and you can see on I want to say it's Bob someone, the CEO of Disney. He looks so awkward when Harry's asking.
What do you say in that situation?
He's like, "Cool, I don't want to hire your wife." That's not my job.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh.
Anyway.
Like I know you're a royal, but like I can't remember this video. I can't remember what event it is, but you can see how awkward he looks in Harry asking him. Because I think I could be wrong. I think he actually asked him twice, or like he reminds him twice, so it looks awkward.
A bit, yeah.
But yeah, it would probably be Harry and
Meghan, maybe.
No, Harry and
William.
Yeah, they'll be it, but it won't be those two.
I don't reckon it will go that far.
No, because that's 5 seasons done. But that's Crown has won so many awards as well.
It's fantastic, but it is a drama, people. It is a drama.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're one of the most famous families in the world, there's always going to be a twist of every version. One great quote is, which funny enough, it kind of doesn't actually relate today due to iPhones and all that, but brighter the picture, darker the negative.
Brighter the picture, darker the negative.
So meaning like how good something looks,
Yeah.
there has to be a dark side to it.
Yeah. So it might look all good, but there could be things happening behind the scenes.
That's correct. But but right now, anyone under the age of like 15 probably doesn't know what the fucking negative is.
Oh, I get what you mean. Negative.
That's what I mean.
The photo negative.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I was like, hang on a minute, I don't quite get it.
Look, I just need to say, like, I love this woman to bits, and I have the patience of a saint.
Yes, you do.
But yes, so that's what you're looking forward to. So moving on. To the video game part that I want to talk about. Now, before I get into that, I know that you had something that you recently read or recently saw about the effects of video games with kids?
Well, I think the one thing you've always got your back up on, and the one thing you've always kind of argued against, is video games and the effect of kids. Like, if you wanted to get a rise out of Lee, you just need to say something like, kids should not play video games, because Lee will just go nuts.
She ain't wrong.
Yeah, and so whenever we've spoken about, like, things at school or anything like that, he will say, the one time I was really involved in persuasive writing or oral presentations was when they were talking about video games. And it's quite interesting, like, we were talking about it yesterday, just having a conversation, Eugene and I, about video games. And I was doing some reading about digital literacy.
Is this because, what are you studying again? Sorry.
I'm studying my Master of Education, focusing on literacy.
That's right.
And we were looking at just a reading on digital literacy, and they were talking about the benefits of video games. And there are many benefits, particularly what I've seen when you're playing video games. It's not just staring at a screen. There's so many things that children will be learning, like problem solving. They have like the reading and the comprehension, and there's so many elements of a video game that promote learning. However, like, there are some, and I am going to just say it, Lee, there are some that are ridiculously violent that I really don't like. But the one that you're playing at the moment, which is like having to build a city and sustain a city.
Surviving the aftermath.
Yeah, like that, I haven't seen any violence on that when I've seen parts of the game. But the violent games I just don't like. But that's just me. I'm not saying you can't play it, it's just me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting to just read a bit about, you know, the effects that video games can have and the learning opportunities they can provide. I thought that was interesting.
Well, the thing is, like, do you, like, when you say that you don't like those games, and happy to debate.
I'm sure you are. I'm probably going to lose that.
No.
You get awfully aggressive.
No. I just rather get another person's perspective. What, like, when you say that you don't like those video games, do you put that in the same vein as you don't like violent movies?
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't say that I would enjoy watching a violent movie. I know that Dark Knight is quite violent, but you'd probably find in movies that are violent, I don't know, when it's a very violent scene, I tend to look away.
Like Saw?
I've never seen it. Don't want to see it. But like John Wick, how many scenes did you cover my eyes with?
Oh, look.
There was a few scenes where...
There was, but there was a majority of, like, I did let you watch.
Yeah, but you know how I can be. My biggest thing with violent games is that when, say, like, you punch... In a game, when you punch someone and they fall down, they get back up. For a child watching or playing that game... Some can have trouble between reality, separating reality and fiction.
Now, I completely understand.
Yeah.
That. But the thing is, like, why would a child be playing that?
Well, that's when you say it's the parent's choice.
That's why
I know, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I personally don't like those violent games because it depends on the age of the child, but they struggle between reality and what's real and what's not.
But what demographic are you talking about?
Like younger children? You know, if you've got more mature children, say like 15, 16-year-olds, you know, you can rationalise a little bit more with them. But when you've got very young children, like 7-year-olds, playing quite violent games, I think it can be hard for them to understand.
That's completely right.
Yeah.
Which I've always said, I feel that any R-rated game should be treated the same way as if you're buying alcohol or if you're buying, if it needs to be buying like alcohol or something like that, then you need to show ID. But in the same vein of that, you don't need to do that when you buy an R-rated movie.
I think you need to show ID for an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
If it's 18 over, I'm pretty sure that you're meant to be asked for ID.
Oh, well, then the same thing.
However, can I just say, I know, like, I mean, this is a very teacher thing, but, like, games are a really cool way to get kids engaged. So, for example, you know, with remote learning that we're now having to go into because we're back in lockdown.
Oh, yes. By the way, as we're recording this, thanks to New South Wales for fucking us, Victoria is now in lockdown again.
Golly.
I'm right. I'll find anyone who tells me that that's not wrong.
Anywho.
Sorry, no politics.
I've just sent out a whole heap of numeracy games. And I personally, there are some really cool platforms that you can use. And I don't know if any of your listeners are, you know, parents of younger children or anything like that. It's just obviously my background and what I do. I love using games as a way to support children's learning and consolidation of skills. And there's one particular game where they're looking at place value, and they have to play this basketball game, but they have to, like, say you'll have like hundreds, tens, and ones. They have to look at the number that's being represented with hundreds, tens, and ones blocks. Then they have to choose the number that it's representing. So if you've got a hundreds block and 2 tens, they will have to find the number 120 along the bottom with the options, and then if they get the right number, the basketball goes in the hoop. Yeah. Or there's a swimming one. There's a fruit, like kind of like Fruit Ninja. And you have to cut the right number. Like, you know, video games can be used. Like, that to me is a video game. It's a game. It's digital.
Yeah, a video game is the same thing as when the first popular one, which is Pong.
I don't know Pong.
Pong is we've seen Pong. It's literally like table tennis. There you go. It's 2 bars, 2 bars and a square.
Okay.
It's like tennis.
Okay.
You have 1 bar on one side, 1 bar on the other side, and when you hit the ball, it goes dink dink, and then you got to hit it back. Like that's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But
even like you can get some games where kids actually can make their own video game. Like I remember I went on a work experience thing when I was, you know, at uni, and we went with some year 10 students, and we went to this place in the city where they actually made video games, and the amount of work that goes into the design of a video game, like the aesthetic design.
A video game can take 10 years to make.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny though?
What?
A video game can take 10 years to make, and it can make more money than and its return and then some, depending on obviously the success of it, than a Hollywood blockbuster movie.
Whoa.
Yep. Grand Theft Auto 5 made its budget like I think about 10 times over, and it makes more money than any blockbuster ever.
Wow.
It made, in its pre-orders alone, the budget it cost to make it.
Wow.
When it came out.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a trivia fact for you.
There you go. Yeah. I don't have a trivia fact for you about video games. All I know is that there's lots of positives and lots of negatives to video games, and it does. It comes back down to, you know, parents obviously being mindful of what their kids are playing.
Which I completely agree. I completely agree. That's what it comes down to. And obviously judging your kid if they can, you know, is your kid, you know, matured enough to play it, like. And
are you having those conversations with them about it? You know, that it's not real, and that, you know, this is a game, and I think you've got to be. Like I played, just like a movie, just like a movie that I played
Grand Theft Auto when I was like, sorry, Mum and Dad, when I was 15 or 16. But the difference is I knew the fact that it's a video game, and not once did anything happen warp me. Oh, then again, I do have high tendencies to kill. No, anyway, but nothing warped me. I just enjoyed the game for what it was because of the type of genre it was. Which was the fact that you could jump into a car, you could do this, you could do that, you could do anything, you could go play golf.
I never really played, like I'm not a video game person, as you know, like
I know. I bought Crash Team Racing when it came out. Yeah. I bought a second controller for me and May to play together. She played 3 times.
It was very hard.
It was racing.
I know, but it was hard. I just don't. It's just not my thing. I just don't. My brother loves it. He's always been, the gamer.
Yeah.
But...
See what you got an Xbox Series X.
Yep.
He got a new Xbox.
One. Yeah. But the ones I remember when I was younger, the ones that I would play were Crash Bandicoot. I had a Finding Nemo game one time.
Crash Bandicoot is fantastic. It's such a simple game.
Yeah.
Very frustrating game.
A lot of problem solving and persistence with that one.
Spyro.
Never played Spyro.
Mum used to play Spyro.
So do you remember Wii's?
Like, are you talking about the game or are you talking about the console?
Wii.
You didn't know how to answer that question, did you?
No.
The console.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wii console.
Where you put the games in. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
I bought one of them.
I love tennis.
Back in the day.
I love tennis.
Yep.
That was so much fun.
And do they have them anymore?
The Wii's?
Yeah.
No, it's been replaced with the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, as one console rises and the other one falls.
Wii's were good.
Wii's were good. That's the cool thing about Nintendo is that Nintendo always tries and does something different. Obviously, they need to get that niche against Xbox and PlayStation.
Do you remember Game Boys?
Yeah, I remember Game Boys.
Do you remember Game Boys Color or Game Boys Black and White?
Yes, it was fantastic when Game Boys came in color. I was like, whoa.
I think I told you this story.
The Nintendo DS. I thought that was so cool.
Nintendo Dogs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I always thought the Nintendo DS was so cool with the 2 screens and the fact that you could use the stylus.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the story I told you about the Nintendo Black that we had?
No.
So we were camping one time, and I remember my brother was getting really annoyed because I kept using the Nintendo, and he wanted to have a turn, and I put it on the arm of my camping chair, and I didn't know there was a bucket of water next to my camping chair, and I knocked it off. That was Parker dropping his toy, and I knocked it off, and it fell in the bucket of water. My brother could have killed
I would have
me.
strangled you. I would have literally strangled you.
I did not mean for it to happen.
No, that's why.
R.I.P.
I always tell Maddie that I've got the PlayStation and I've got the Xbox in our bedroom, and every time she goes to wipe them down, I'm like, "You be careful."
I actually thought yesterday when I was vacuuming in there that I knocked it. I didn't. But
Better not be the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, or I thought I almost knocked the PlayStation 5, but lucky.
Because if you did, I'll take that $800 right now.
No, I didn't. No.
I would kill you.
I know you would.
Straight up.
I wouldn't blame you.
But in speaking of the Nintendo Switch, what I really want to talk about, which I was talking about yesterday, was the fact that there's this company called Valve, that they make, which I know this is going to excite you so much, which they have a service called Steam.
Oh yeah.
Now, imagine like I'm trying to think how I can really put it. Imagine being able to something where you can buy straight from the distributor without having to go to a merchant. All right.
Cut out the middleman costs.
Get it straight away, cheaper prices. That's pretty much what Steam does. Steam has an immense catalog of games, both old school, new ones like Call of Duty, and all the latest games on there for PC, as well as which I was talking about, early access games, which I was explaining to you, which was the fact that it's a game where the game is 3/4 done.
The one that you're playing right now.
Yeah, surviving the aftermath, where it's 3/4 done. They've released it so people can test it and they can find all the bugs and do tweaks here and there as they go. Which, as I said, it's technically a smart idea than you releasing it and getting all this hate and then doing updates. So it's Steam's fantastic, and they're always having sales. It's like EB Games. But they've just brought out announced the Steam Deck,
which is the tablet-looking thing that's actually a gaming PC.
That is correct. Well done. Ding.
And you want to get a new computer, and you wanted to get a player's chip put in the computer, but that is very expensive. So now you're wanting to get this Steam console. However, this is how much I listen to you. However, you've just realised that they're not actually selling it in Australia at this point in time, so you have to wait. But now you're thinking of just getting that gaming console because you can just hook it up and play it through a normal PC computer.
That is 85% correct. No, that's not bad. 85%.
What did I get wrong?
No, it's a... So the problem with the gaming computer is the fact that it's... The main thing that costs the most is both the gaming chip, the space, the RAM, and depending on what you kind of player, you need a cooling unit where you literally have liquid going through your PC as a cooling liquid.
Because it's on for so long.
It's on for so long and how much power it's pumping out.
I don't think I want this thing.
No. That's what a gaming PC can be. If you want a high end, so if you want to play Call of Duty or something without restrictions, as in a retrospect, PC gaming will always have the advantage over PlayStation or Xbox.
Because of the storage?
Not because of storage, because the opposing thing is that with a PC is that at any point in time you can take out an old unit and put a new part into it. So like if you want more space, if you want a higher gaming chip, you just take it out, you put a new one in.
Can you play all of the games that you would play on a PlayStation 5? Can you play them on the PC?
I think yes, except for PlayStation exclusives. Both Xbox and PlayStation have their own exclusives, so they can only distribute on there.
Right.
But any other game pretty much goes on Steam as well.
So it won't make a PlayStation null and void?
No. It won't make a PlayStation null and void. However, the Steam Deck, which is like it's sort of like the Nintendo Switch in its portability,
okay, yeah.
And the fact that you can hook it up to just a screen, a keyboard, and a mouse, or if you want example, your 80-inch TV. What the advantage is in that being is the fact that not so much it could not threaten, but it could make PlayStation and Xbox not null and void, but nervous. Not null and void because they'll still have their exclusives. Because obviously a lot of people still like to have the controller experience. But at the same time, is you can buy a controller and you can hook it up to your PC.
Right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and the difference being that this particular thing, this Steam Deck, is basically a portable gaming PC in your hands. So you can play it anywhere.
Isn't that the same as like your iPhone though?
No.
Okay.
But
it's kind of the same thing. Like you practically could have your Apple Mac in your hands on your iPhone.
Okay, that expression, yes. Imagine 20 times more powerful. Imagine like 50 Apple iPads slapped together.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, so basically this little device will have the exact same amount of power and graphics as an Xbox brand new one that like what Alex has in his hands, as well as the most...
Alex is my brother, sorry.
Yeah, latest PC. The most recent PC, like standards. Like that's how powerful it is.
So then my question to you is...
So, for example, I can play Call of Duty in nearly perfect, no delay in my hands.
Okay, so my question then, because you are wanting to get a new computer...
Well, yeah.
At some point in time. If Steam was available to Australia...
Steam is available to Australia.
You told me it wasn't.
Steam is the store.
Oh, but the console-y thing
Console,
isn't.
no.
Right.
So, at this stage, the console's been released in America and I do believe Europe first, towards the end of December. Unfortunately, it's not available in Australia just yet, which is really annoying.
Do you know when?
Unfortunately, no. All their website says TBA. It could be multiple reasons why, but at this stage, usually Australia is last nearly in everything.
Can you purchase it through the American store and get it sent over here? Or is that not how it works?
No, it won't work because we
don't support.
There's different settings,
right?
For international distribution. Because the fact is, like, obviously, for in Australia, if you're connected to the Steam store, it's all Steam prices. It's all Australian prices and everything. If it's going to work, if you're going to buy the American one, I have to go through the American one.
So would you, A, get the Steam device and then just have a standard computer?
Yes.
Or B, would you still get a gaming computer?
I've completely ruled out to get a gaming computer at all because the fact that, like, to get a basic PC that runs the most, you just want for work, $300 or $400, $500 one if you want some extra space.
Yeah.
Right. But if you want it to be gaming, that's where the real
money comes
in. What the advantage of the fact that this Steam Deck will do is the fact that why PC always has the advantage, because you can always obviously play that. But the fact that if you're taking that PC gaming element and putting it into a portable device like the Switch, where you can play anything from their store, which they have confirmed that anything from their store is playable on the Switch. Sorry, Steam Deck. I need to get used to that. And it can play 60 frames per second at 1080p, which basically means the fact that, like, absolutely flawless, like it's on your TV.
Yeah.
And you can take it.
But it can literally just be as a portable device in your hands.
Yep. Or you can hook it up to your TV or a screen.
So you can have an 80-inch flat screen TV and you just hook it up and you can play your PC game on a TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can play anything in it.
So it kind of makes gaming consoles null and void if you want them to be portable. As
in the fact that technically, if you don't want a PlayStation or Xbox exclusive, all you would have to buy is this, and you have access to 85% of gaming.
There you go. There's your answer.
There's 3 tiers of it. So 3 tiers, as in there's one that starts with $400, which is 64 gigabyte. There's one that starts with $529, which is 250 gigabyte, and one that's $649, which has 512 gigabyte of space. But you can buy a SD card to add more space. However, that's American prices, so most likely
it'll be that little bit more.
It'll be about $700 or $800 for Australia. But I know this probably doesn't interest you a whole lot, but this absolutely excites me because the restriction of it's only being released on PC, or you can only play it on PC, or, for example, some games are better suited to be played on PC than on a controller. That limitation is gone. So it's going to be really cool when that comes out, and it's going to, I think one thing that's going to be the major thing going moving forward is seeing what effect it will have. Because the fact that you don't have to spend $1,500 or $1,800 on a game PC anymore. No. Obviously, if you
it's more cost effective.
It's more cost effective.
You get more for your buck, really.
Yeah, basically, yes. Because you can play Call of Duty on the go on the train.
Could you imagine?
I'm imagining it right now. You could do that. You can play any game on the go, straight doing that. You're not limited by anything. It also technically makes the Nintendo Switch slightly same thing, null and void. Unless you want the Nintendo exclusives. But if you don't want that, then you have, as I said, without the exclusive, you basically have all in one.
There you go.
So go check that out, guys. I will be posting it on my Instagram. I am so excited for this. I just really hope the fact that it all goes well and doesn't have any setbacks. That's probably the major thing. But from everything I've seen on the internet, everyone is excited about it. They can't wait for it. And and it's just going to be really cool, and I'm all for it, and I'll be punching it as much as May probably doesn't like, but I'll be putting my $800 to that.
Go for it.
Probably.
I buy handbags, you buy...
Well, some of your handbags are actually will cost more than that.
Yeah. If I see a handbag and I go back into the store 3 times, it's destiny. It obviously belongs on my arm.
We were destiny.
We were.
But yeah, and I would also like to say thank you very much for coming on this podcast today.
My pleasure.
I really hope you do come on more. It'll be a lot of fun. Obviously, we can dive into more stuff in our next episode because all your introductions and backgrounds are put aside. Do you have any tidbits before we do the closing part of the show?
I think that I just wanted to mention that this week we are receiving our first merchandise, which I'm super excited about.
I did not know that she was doing this.
I have taken on the role as Lee's promotional person. PA. Promotional assistant. And so keep an eye out on our Lee's Instagram page.
No, Lights Camera Rant.
Lights Camera Rant Instagram page.
With our mascot, Parker.
Parker B. Morgan.
The B doesn't stand for
anything. I've just always called him that.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out because we are getting some merchandise in and we would love your thoughts. So they should be delivered this week and we will post a picture up for you.
You can't see it right now, but she has the giant smile on her face.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for having me on, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm so glad that this has been a dream that you have wanted to do for so long. And I hope that you keep doing it because you're doing an amazing job. Well
Thanks.
done. And I love you.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today's episode. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having you and ranting with you. And until next time, guys.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.